She had a page on OnlyFans where she would post nude pictures and videos, and the defendant was her subscriber, fan, if you will. He went from being attracted to infatuated to obsessed. And he made a series of very poor, very alarming, and ultimately very criminal decisions.
They become lovers, and there's no question about it. They had consensual sex twice. They are lovers, by definition, right? They crossed that line.
This is a story about how the physical acts that make something a crime for one person might not make that a crime for another if their state of mind is different.
22-year-old Mauricio Guerrero is facing up to 15 years in prison for 4 burglary counts, 2 counts of criminal trespass, and 2 counts of invasion of privacy. Prosecutors claim Guerrero broke into the victim's home multiple times, hid in her attic, and committed depraved acts. Because these are felonies, Guerrero's facing the possibility of becoming a registered sex offender for his adult life. But the defense believes that putting Guerrero on the stand can convince the jury that he was just a naive younger man led on by an experienced woman for financial gain.
What I'll say about the victim here is that she knew that what she did for a living could be used against her, and I think that she has never shied away from participating in this process, so I thought she was incredibly brave for that.
Due to the nature of the case, the alleged victim wished to remain anonymous.
Did you go in her house?
Yes,
Why?
because I believe it's something she would have wanted me to do. Because we would talk about it.
I think I'm trying to hear someone and I'm really scared to go check.
On February 9, 2022, a 24-year-old single woman in Somersworth, New Hampshire, was sleeping at about 4:15 a.m. when she was startled awake and saw a shadowy figure in the hallway outside of her bedroom.
This sounds silly, but I thought it was like a ghost, and then was like, that's not possible. It took me a minute to wake up.
The victim in this case was a young 24-year-old single mother of a 3-year-old. She was living with her mother in Somersworth at the time of the incident.
She went into her mother's room and told her that she thought someone was lurking in their house.
Dispatch center received a 911 call stating that there was someone in their attic.
I walked down the hill to get an easterly view of the house, and at that point I saw somebody crawling across the roof. I immediately went upstairs to the attic. There's a window in the attic that goes out to that flat part of the roof. I announced myself as a Somersworth police officer. I ordered him to come off of the roof. I detained him at that point.
Mauricio Guerrero and the alleged victim, then 24, first met in early October 2021 on OnlyFans, a paid-for social media platform largely used for adult content. Guerrero had paid to subscribe to the alleged victim's channel to gain access to sexually explicit photos and videos of her.
They started communicating frequently, and the boundaries between them appeared to get a little bit blurred. Mauricio and the victim exchanged a lot of explicit images and videos. There was exchanges in both directions, as one might expect in a romantic relationship that was intense or heated.
I don't remember the text I sent, but I would say I let him on.
On February 7, 2022, Mauricio Guerrero made yet another unannounced trip to see the alleged victim. Only this time, he drove to her mother's house, where she had explicitly told him not to come. For the next 2 days, he would spend time in the house's attic without her knowledge. But will the lines between reality and fantasy make it difficult for the jury to determine which side of the law Guerrero's on? And will his testimony ultimately help or hurt him?
Did you see her February?
Yes, she did not know it was coming up.
Did you go in her house?
Yes,
Why?
because I believe it's something she would have wanted me to do. Because we would talk about it.
Can you tell us what happened on the 8th? Did you spend the night in the attic?
I didn't spend the night in the attic. I was still in my Airbnb, and she was texting me She had told me she would be happy if I was up there. That she would be really happy if I was there. And I told her I was. She told me to park almost right in front of her house. And she came to my truck and she just came out again in a row.
She seemed happy to see you?
Yes, she did. She seemed really happy. She did more than that. She started to give me all. We talked about I should go home, that I couldn't be there. But I didn't know to take it as to leave or still stay because I was still in thought of hers telling me to come back again later on, or saying that she would miss me or she would get angry at me for leaving. So I didn't know what to do.
And after she didn't send you a text or tell you back, what did you do?
I decided to go back in to her house.
And how'd you do that?
I had also been using the back door again.
What was your intent?
My intentions to make her happy again, that I made it in or something, because it's something like a fantasy that she would want me to do sometimes.
Was she asleep?
She was.
What did you do?
I believe it was just a game of ours that she wanted to do, and so I decided to take a picture of her vagina.
What happened after you took the picture?
I went to sleep and then I heard someone call out, "Ow." She did like a loud gasp. I was scared, and so I went up to the attic.
Let me ask you this, is something you're proud of?
I'm not. I'm ashamed. I'm just scared. Sorry.
I want to direct your attention specifically to February 9th, okay? At some point you go into her room, right?
Right.
And you also lifted up the covers of her bed, lifted up her bathrobe, and you looked at her vagina, right?
Yeah.
And when you lifted the covers, with her robe, and put your phone in between her legs, zoom in and take a video of her vagina, you do not have permission to do that either, did you?
She would be okay with it.
You thought she would be okay with it.
Yes. I don't know what else to say about that.
She tried to end things around February 1st. Is that right?
Yes.
And it's at this point that you thought she wanted you to break into her house.
Yes.
Will you agree with me that those messages reflect that you weren't actually together at that point?
We weren't.
What she did was not correct. The defendant did was.
Charge ID number 194, 8114C, charging the defendant with burglary. How does the jury find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Moving on then to the second charge, charging the defendant with burglary. How does the jury find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
And finally, as to charge ID number 199-2048C, charging the defendant with invasion of privacy, privacy recording. How does the jury find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
The jury returns a split verdict, but what is still clearly a victory for prosecutors, finding Guerrero guilty on 2 of the 4 burglary counts, 2 counts of criminal trespass, and 1 count of invasion of privacy.
First, I want to say that I'm sorry to the whole family. It cost a lot of pain, doesn't it? And it hurts me a lot too. I regret everything. I beg to God, I beg to anyone for forgiveness.
So I have decided upon what I believe to be an appropriate sentence in this case. This case does obviously involve extremely unique circumstances. You are sentenced to the House of Correction for a period of 12 months. With respect to the state's request that I qualify Mr. Guerrero as qualifying for the sex offender registration, I do not find by clear and convincing evidence that the offenses here were driven by a sexual compulsion, and therefore he will not be required to register as a sex offender.